Hi everyone, Create-a-liscious here, just bringing you another project actually. So I just want to give before I start anything, a shout out to Lyrical Lover 810. And I've been watching Amber's videos for a while now, and she does some great craft fair idea videos. And I've taken some of her inspiration and kind of meddled with it and come up with something slightly different but on the same concept. And the reason it's slightly different is because I don't live in America, I live in the UK, and so some of the products that she uses I've been able to get, so I've kind of had to manipulate what she started out with. So Amber from Lyrical Lover 810, great inspiration, lovely videos, so I just want to say thank you to her, and this is what I've come up with. I've done a couple actually. We'll start with this one because these are wrapped. I haven't wrapped the other ones yet. So I'm going to take you through the project later, but I just want to show you what I've created for the craft fairs that I'm going to be doing this year. And this is just some of the ones that I've started to create now ready. So handmade vintage paper, notepad and pencil. And these are 3 little notebooks. I'll try and get some close-ups for you if I can get my back to front video to work. So 3 little notebooks that measure in total, so just under 7.5 that way, by centimetres, by just under 10.5 centimetres. And I'm going to show you how to make these, and I'm going to show you what equipment you'll need, especially living in the UK. So I've packaged them up, and I'm going to give you all the details of how I've done this, because we're going to go and make one later. So I've just put it in a cellophane wrapper and with a topper on that matches the paper, and then lined the back with some corrugated paper just to match the colours. And inside the little notebook is the tea dyed paper that we all so love to do and have and work with. And I've done 2 so far. This one obviously is a slightly different design on the front, but basically the concept is the same and the contents are the same. Now it's taken me a while to source some of the materials, obviously to get them at the right price. But the retractable pencils, these ones that are in here, these are actually quite a bargain, and these were from Tesco, and they do 10 retractable pencils for £1. So obviously it's going to make it really reasonable to put into each one. The paper I had from my stash, so I can't actually take you through where I got it from because I can't remember, and it doesn't actually state it on the back or anywhere because I've taken the packaging off. But I got these, I think they were only £2, maybe less than that, and they're called, I've got Pretty Pastels, Purple Paradise, and I've got another one actually, here it is, and I think they would have only been maximum £2 because I probably wouldn't have paid any more for that, and Vintage Chic. And they're a great size. They are a design pad with 32 sheets in each, with 4 times 8 designs, so you get 4 sheets of each design, and there are 8 designs. It's 200 GSM. Ooh, where are you? And that's the measurement, 14.8 by 21 centimetres. And so what I've done with them, and they are such beautiful designs, I'll just quickly see if I can give you a bit of a flick through, although the actual patterns aren't probably going to show up as well as they know. So these are the patterns obviously on the front of the book, but they are so beautiful, and I've had them for years and just never wondered what to do with them. And as I say, Amber inspired me. So this is one of the papers out of this book, and obviously we'll see the ones that we're going to play with in a minute. And so what I do with this is that I take it and deconstruct it basically, and make it into a beautiful little notelet. And you could leave that notelet and have 3 of them, which I've done here, 3 different designs which all match, and you could actually have those in a small packet and just have notelets. So you could use that, or you could do what I've done, which is use your coffee or tea dyed paper, vintage paper, and place them inside. Okay, and so what I'm going to do with this one, have I left anything out so far? So that's the paper that I'm going to be using, and I've already folded them in half. Let me just show you. So this piece, particular piece that you would take out, you'd fold in half, you'd cut it, and then this left to right becomes that size card, and it's quite sturdy, 200 grams, as I say. And I've rounded the corners because I hate square corners on anything. And so that's just going to make a unique little card itself. And then I thought, what else am I going to do to package it up and to make it into something? And so before I got to this stage of doing these, I actually did these. And this is where I started, and then obviously when you get started on projects you tend to just go, don't you? Just your mind opens up. Now I've done card, 3 different lots of card on this, but they were all from the same packs, I should say, design packs, and I've just added in. So these ones have actually got card, 3 lots of card here. And then I've also sandwiched between the cards some vintage tea dyed paper. And then what I did with these is staple them in the middle and embellish the outside. And so that's where I started, and then I kind of went from there and ended up with this when I carried on doing, because my brain started to open up and I started to flow. And the same for this. So these are slightly different because these are made with 3 lots of the card. And they're so cute, right? Oh, where's my camera gone? Sorry guys. So cute. They're so lovely. So I will individually package these up at some other time. But right now I want to get on and show you how to do this, or how to make this package. So once you've got your card, you're then going to fold your newly created, let me just move you down a bit, tea dyed paper, which was fresh out the oven this morning. Now for those of you that don't know this, I'm going to try and find the original video I found, and I can't remember who it was, that showed me how to do this in the oven. And I think she lives in Wales, I think that was the lady, but I'm going to try and see if I can find the YouTube video where it linked, and to see if I can give her a shout out as well, because this is the quickest way of drying paper. And because I throw mine straight onto the rack, onto the metal racks, I get these lovely lines which actually create beautiful writing lines. So I'm just going to split the A4 sheet, she says, once I've creased it properly, into half. So you've got from A4 down to A5, which is half of an A4, down to, I think it's A6, and then down to an A6, well A6, half of this, and then that half is your page. So how simple is that? So it's not, you don't need no special equipment or anything to get this done. And I just use 1 sheet of A4 paper per card. They're not super chunky, but you get 3 of them in a pack. And obviously, as most of you know who've done tea dyed or coffee dyed paper, your paper thickens up when you do it. So this paper that I've done tea dye is not photocopy paper. It's a lighter gram, and I knew I was going to say that, and now I haven't got the information. So I'll put the information of what grammage this is, because it's copy paper, what we used to call in my day bank paper. Okay, so there's your 4 little inserts, signature, just one signature, and then you just stack them inside of each other. And this is just such a super quick project. It is pretty ridiculous, to be honest, and that's what I like, so then I can't get bored. And you just place it all inside your card. You'll have some edges, but don't worry about those for the minuetto. And what I did then, because I don't have a stapler with a long arm, well I do, but I don't know where it is, so I had to use a mini stapler. And to do that I needed a piece of corrugated paper to actually put down on the table. So what you're going to do is just fold it all up, line it down, and then where you've got the crease, you're going to line up the stapler and just punch. Obviously I'm going to have to close mine because I'm not going all the way through, but because I don't have a long arm. You don't need a long arm, but you just need a stapler longer than what I've got. And then you just, you will have already have this bit done because your staples would have folded in. So I'm just going to fold my staples in, squish them down. And don't worry if your papers are not central, because that's the whole, you know, in the middle here. Don't worry, because the whole part about this is it's kind of vintagey, shabby chicy, oldie worldy, and not perfect. However, so don't worry if you've got a staple that's slightly off. I mean, if you're a perfectionist, then you'll go back and do that, which I have done on my others. But just to show you what we're doing here. So now we've got this little extra, and you just follow the card round, cut your edges around the corner, cut your edges around the corner, and then there you have it. Okay, so there's your one little book done. Hey presto. And you could, if you wanted to, go inside now and actually stamp on these, and maybe just write a little word or stamp a butterfly and just embellish it if you want to, but I'm not going to, because these are going to a craft fair and I don't want to overcomplicate it. Okay, so there's your card, and you're going to do 3 of those. So we're just going to get on and do that. And then when I've done them, we'll carry on. Okay, so here's my 3 books now done. And each one actually gives you obviously 8 pages to be doing something with inside. So it's quite a little, nice little notebook. And now what we're going to do is we need to actually get them into a folder. And to keep them in the folder, the sleeve, plastic sleeve that is, which are, so these are clear, I hope you can see that, clear with the tab that rips off. So not a Ziploc, but an anti-static peel off sleeve. And the bags measure 9 centimetres by 24 3/4 centimetres. Now I bought them in millimetres, and I really had to, I've only bought a few because I couldn't, I'm rubbish with numbers. That side of my brain doesn't work very well, especially when it comes to mathematical stuff. So I kind of bought them thinking, I hope that's the right size, and it is, it's perfect for what I want to do, and there's a couple of other projects I want to use them for. So we need to get this into here now, but before we do that, I kind of want to say to you, if you've got paper that's not so pretty on the outside, maybe just plain like this, that's where you can decorate it up and put in embellishments on if you like. But because these are so beautiful, I don't want to spoil the covers, but you could put toppers on top of these, or sentiments, anything that you want that you could put on the front of that just to bling it up a bit more. I just think the covers are so pretty that they don't need anything else doing to them. Now, to keep it all in perspective of how you get this, because obviously people aren't going to know how many are in here. Oh, you can't see that. People aren't going to know, how many are in here because I haven't stated it on the top. So because I didn't want to do loads of these prints on the computer and then say have 5 in one and 3 in another. So I've laid them out like this so that you can see what you're getting. So 3 of them, and to keep them in the same position, what I've done is, again, this was Amber's idea, not mine, is I washi taped them on the back. Now we all know, those that are super washi tape lovers, and I'm going to use a bit of a wrong colour here, but it's all from the same kit, so it should work. Washi tape doesn't rip off it doesn't tear your work, and I have tried it. So I'm just going to put this across the top just to sort of keep them together. So they're now going to pretty much stay in the same position. And before I put them in the bag, I now want to put something around it to embellish it a little bit better. And I've got some lovely green gingham ribbon. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm just going to put this around here. And to keep that on, I'm just going to, it's not hot glue, but it's cold, you know, not hot glue, but cool glue, that's the word. Cool hot glue, if that makes sense, of my gun. Hot glue gun, cool glue gun. And I'm just going to stick that down there. Lovely pink and sheer scissors and cut that off. So that now is also holding them a little bit in place. She says it's not very tight. I need to do that a little bit tighter. That's a fiddle. So tiny amount of, whoopsie, cool glue out of the hot glue gun, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of gingham going on there. And actually that's still too not right for me, so I might do another, what am I going to put on that? Okay. Now I'm going to put a couple of charms on this one. It's not quite enough. So out of my little charm kit, I'm going to sew on now just a little loop of Made with Love and a little, minus the glue on my fingers, a little, what's one of those? Wing, angel's wing. Okay, so I've just stitched that onto there very loosely, so it just gives it somewhere to move to. And to be honest, that's all I'm going to do to it. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. Now, inside the packaging, we need to do the back now so that we can get it inside the packaging without any problems. I love this stuff. I just love this corrugated part card. And the reason I love it is because not only is it corrugated, so I can't actually make a wonky line, it's actually got lines and spots on the other side. So I'm just going to measure my bag up, and I want it a little bit smaller than the bag width-wise, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get it in there. I'm super organised now. What have I done with the pencil? I'm done with the ruler. So I know that if I go that spot there and that spot there, and luckily if I follow the spots, the actual rib on the other side will make it so much easier. So to be honest, that's why I love this stuff. There's a reason I can't make a mistake with it. So we've now got this bit. Now just tidy up this one edge a little bit. And what I do with the back is I take it off, because I don't want that showing, okay? And it will just, if you're very careful, you're able to peel the back off, which just reveals white, which is great, okay? And that is going to go that way in my bag, with these perched on top. Now, getting the alignment right is part of the fun with this. And there's a way to do it, but I'm going to show you how. Just want to make sure that goes in there. So that's where we're up to so far. So we've made the little covers, we've done the inserts of the tea-dyed paper, we've done a backing, we've got a sleeve ready. Now the topper, oh no, I won't get to that stage yet, I've got to do this bit first. Sorry, one step ahead of myself there. So now I want to do this bit. And so I just get my crimpy shears, I call them, and I've printed this one out with green going around the edge. And I'm just going to crimp along the top, just so it's not so boring when you look at it. Sorry, was I off camera then? And just as we don't have a boring header. And again, you could get all creative and create a topper from something, or a header from something else. So that's where I'm at so far. Now, that's going to sit on nicely on the top of there, but I want everything to kind of line up. I kind of messed the last one up because I had corrugated paper showing, and I don't want that showing. So I'm just going to leave that there. Push my pencils out. I'm going to put this one, and then to make sure the pencil stays in place, I'm pretty much going to double-side sticky tape it onto that. So this is all in place because the band is on it and they're stuck together here. Sorry, I've just got glue stuck to that. Good. And now I need to make sure that my pencil's going to stay in alignment. So I get my my double-sided sticky tape, and I've cut this in half because this is the wide one, and I didn't have it. And obviously once they take the pencil out, they'll be able to scrape off then the double-sided sticky tape. It'll roll off there quite easily. So I just want to put that, making sure the tip is at the end of the card, and I'm just going to squish that down. Just going to leave the topper there for a second, because I just want to measure now how much top I need for my topper. I don't want that showing, so my topper is again out the same collection of cards, and this is 5 centimetres by 10 3/4. But I do cut it, I think, a little bit after I've put it on, because it's a little bit wide. I may not, but it gives me enough room to play with. And I don't stick this bit down, the vintage signage, until I know where I'm putting this bit. Okay. So that's pretty much how it's going to look. And you're going to put it in the bag so you seal at the bottom. Okay, but let me just stick this down because that's ready to go now. So that they can open it from the bottom, and then the topper doesn't get messed around or ripped or anything like that. So that's the reason we do it like that. And again, it has been something that Amber mentioned on her video as well, but I'd already pretty much sussed it out that if you work the opposite end, that on there. And so you've got a little bit at the top now of your corrugated paper, because this is where the topper is going to fit. Okay, so you're going to slide this in upside down and back to front almost. So the sleeve opening is coming towards you, and you're just going to slide it in very gently. And I will say, if you've got ribbons and bows on the front, it does tend to make it a little bit more put that in the right way? No, I haven't. You see, even Muggins here has done it. So you have to have it upside down. This has to be the longest part towards you. Didn't think that looked right somehow. And then you slide it in from there. And if you curve your card a little bit, it goes in a lot easier. Might be I might have to cut a tiny little bit off that card actually. Yeah, it's a little bit still too wide. And again, so if it's a little bit, you just trim it up, following the original lines of the corrugated paper. You pretty much can't get it wrong, she says. You can't, because it's corrugated paper. I just got to go under my sign. There we go. They do fit, you just have to, I may have cut that corrugated, one of those little ribbles too wide. Let's put that in. I know why that's not working, because that's too... Let me just cut my sign a little bit shorter. It does work, I just have cut it one ribble too. There we go. One ribble earlier, if that makes sense. One, there we go, that's it. I can see the mark now, even though I was looking at it before. So, let's try that again. So the bag is upside down facing you. Gently slippy do that in. And you'll go all the way to the bottom, but you're going to pull it back a little bit because you want the topper to go on. And then you slide your books in. Make sure they're at the right way. Slide your books in. And then you're going to pull your green card and your books, because you want the books at the end of your card, and you're going to pull all of that then to the end of your packaging. Okay? You're going to hold that down tight. So at the top then there should be a gap, and then your corrugated paper, because this is where your top is going to go. So you hold this flat as you're sealing it. Make sure it's all squared up. And your charms are hanging down. Everything's in the right place. And then you take your strip off and fold it right up against the plastic, so it's a solid seal. So you've then got this free at the top. You're going to take your header, mark it on whatever board you've got to mark it on. So you're going to crease it at 2.5. And if you haven't got one of these boards, which I don't know where I got mine from, I think I borrowed this, or somebody gave it to me, yeah, when I was asking. So I'm just creasing down there with my bone folder, just making a nice little dent. Fold that over, and this won't be straight because they weren't earlier. I've cut them. You see, I don't. My whole head just doesn't do straight, and so I just line that back up. But that's how much you need. And then you're going to slip that on the top, so you can see now that it covers. Let me just move that up a little bit. There you go. And then you're going to staple. Now, you can either do 2 staples, I've tried this, 2 staples at the top like that, or you can do 2 staples on the side like that. And I'll be honest, I prefer the 2 staples on the top like that, so that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And if you don't want that much showing, just turn the bag over and fold it. I don't want that much cardboard showing. and then slide that underneath so your topper comes down on top of your cardboard if you've got too much showing. Make sure it's all in super duper alignment. And staple. There you go. Now these edges are a little bit too wide for me, so I'm just going to trim those up. It just gives you that little bit extra to play with rather than not have enough with the measurements I've given you. And voila, there is your little, lovely little, I should say. I think they're so cute. And again, so the people who buy this then will open from the bottom here and take the goodies out, and they won't have to disturb the header or the packaging. Isn't that a great little project? So thank you to Lyrical Lover 810, wasn't it? Because she inspired me to sort of get some of these done. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll get some inspiration from it. And I'm just going to keep crafting now because I've got quite a few to make. So have a go. Even if you're not doing craft fairs, they're just lovely little gifts to give to your friends, or to even just hand out to the teachers at school, or you know, just to even just pop in somebody's letterbox, just because it's an act of kindness. A random act of kindness actually, which I love to do. So you could just make some of these up, and then, or even do them at your church sale or boot sale. I don't know. You just got to get out there and, you know, decide what you're going to do with them. Everybody has different. So it just looks so much different, better when it's all packaged up lovely. And so thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch up again soon. And by the way, I forgot to say, I believe in you. Have a great day. Bye.